sounds wonderful, doesn't it? And we did speak actually to Diane Pilkington, who is leading the cast in the role that was immortalised by Angela Lansbury, the mysterious lady that 3 orphaned Rawlins children are evacuated to live with. And she was saying, in fact, lots of people who've seen it in Woking, because it's been to other parts of our patch to us, it's absolutely magical. Let's talk to another cast member now, to Charles Brunton, who plays Emilius Brown. Thank you, Charles, for joining us on the programme today. Really lovely to have you with us.
Oh, no worries, Sarah. How you doing? You right?
I'm very good. This sounds wonderful. And actually, I've heard that there are some really impressive effects in this show as well.
Oh, my goodness, yes. I mean, the bed flying is obviously the key one that everyone wants to know about. And it really does look quite special from out front. Every night on stage, it's actually quite funny because we can see the audience's faces when we're on the bed. And they're literally, I've never been in a show where you can hear the audience gasp when the bed flies around the stage. And I've had friends that sat in the front row, people that sat up in the back row, up in this upper circle, and they don't know how it's done. So I just have to say to them, it's magic.
Yeah, and I have heard that people say this is actually a very, very magical show filled with some wonderful special effects and something that the whole family will really love.
Oh, totally. It's a really heartfelt show. I mean, it's a really wonderful combination of a really heartfelt story, some amazing songs, some new songs as well that weren't in the original film, and the amazing special effects that really come together, make it a fantastic show. The best, another part in the show that's really good is when everyone turns into rabbits. That's quite special as well.
And of course,
quite painful to do.
As you say, you can see some of the audience reaction, and for you, after the pandemic and getting back onto the stage, being able to do that must still feel so special.
Oh, it's just such wonderful to be back in the theatre, seriously. I mean, I think it's been a year and a half of wondering what on earth is going to happen, whether I'm going to have a career anymore, to be honest, because you never know what's around the corner, do you? And to be able to go on stage and do this wonderful show, it's just, I can't thank my lucky stars enough, to be honest.
There's a lot involved in this, as you say, you've got all these special effects, you've got the singing, the dancing, and then you're going from theatre to theatre. What's it like when you arrive at a new theatre and you have to get it all ready to go again?
Well, I'm literally about to do that. As soon as I get off the phone, I'm going to get in the car, race down, pick up my friend Emma, who's in the cast, and race to the theatre to have a COVID test. And then we do our get-in each morning. So we'll be running through some of the special effects, some of the moments in the show with the kids, some of the more technical aspects of the show, so that when we have the show up and running tonight, we don't have any glitches when the show happens. But it is a pretty full-on show to do. Particularly each night, you really can't relax your concentration. Even, we're doing 8 shows a week and you can't really take a back foot on it. You really have to always be on the front foot because there's so many elements in place and the different styles of magic that we use as well. We've got old style street magic. We have classical illusions. On top of that, there's so many things that can just go wrong that are totally out of your control and that you have to deal with, like the bed flying into the wings.
Does it ever go wrong then? Have there been many? And I suppose actually, if it does go wrong, people, it just becomes part of the show, becomes quite entertaining.
Exactly. Also, you often find when things do go wrong, the audience don't tend to notice. You just have to carry on with it. And oh my God, the cast in the show are wonderful. They're so good at that. Literally, it's one of the only shows I've ever done where as soon as the curtain goes up, the entire cast does not stop for 2.5 hours. It's insane. The backstage traffic is unbelievable. They should sell tickets to the backstage corridors.
And you all managed to coordinate that and do that. And actually, you mentioned the COVID testing there, so that must be nervous moments because, of course, if anyone comes down, and we saw it with the big West End show, the Back to the Future, where one of the cast members comes down with COVID, and that means that suddenly everything has to change.
Well, lucky we have 2 people that understudy my role. So say I did have an unfortunate positive test, there'll be 2 people that can replace me for the performances for the next 10 days whilst I recover. But I have to say we have done rigorous testing. We're all being very sensible when we're outside the theatre. We're all wearing masks and keeping our distance. And we haven't, in 5 months, had a single positive case. So please, everyone listen to this, touch wood right now. But yeah, we haven't had a single positive case so far, but that's thanks to the amazing system they've got backstage for us. We have a COVID marshal that tours with us to make sure that we're keeping safe and that everyone's sticking to the rules. And so we've been very lucky so far. I mean, when I got offered the job back in April, I thought, oh gosh, is this going to go ahead? Because I'm just such a dream come true to play this role. And thankfully, 5 months later, we're in full steam to sold out houses.
I can imagine as well. It's such a treat as well for something like this to go on tour and be able to see a sort of West End standard production in our local theatres.
Absolutely, because normally, obviously, we're doing weekly touring, and people assume, oh, it must be a very basic set then. No, it is not. There are 7 trucks, 7 huge trucks that have to take our scenery from venue to venue. The scenery is beautiful. The design that's done by Jamie is just incredible. It's so beautiful, what they've done with the show. And it is a real feat touring this weekly venues. I mean, the backstage crew work their socks off, not only throughout the show, but to get it from venue to venue as well. And obviously the set has to adapt to every new theatre we turn up to today. So part of the rehearsal today will be to get used to the new dimensions of the stage, which will be different from last week's stage.
Honestly, well, so your work is ahead of you today. Very busy day. You found the time to talk to us as well. Very grateful to you. Really lovely to have you on the programme.
Well, thanks for having me on, and come and buy a ticket.
Oh, yeah, would love to see it. Charles, thank you, Charles Brunton. And that is, I know that Jeff Thompson, our theatre critic, went along to see it, and he said it's absolutely magical. It's coming along to heading to Eastbourne at the Congress Theatre. As you heard, all the setup goes on today. First performance takes place today, and then it will be on all the way through till Sunday, the 17th of October. So wonderful theatrical experience for you there.